Hola, blessings.
Blessing Reverend John. Uh, we are streaming, so we're gonna start now.
Great,
Uh,
great.
okay, so let me just spotlight myself. Okay, greetings and welcome everyone. And we're just gonna start by just going into the silence for a few moments. So I'm gonna ask you to just center yourselves now. So just inhale and we exhale. And we inhale. And as we exhale, let us just release what's not serving us right now. And on the next inhale, let us just allow ourselves to be fully present right here and right now. And as we continue to breathe, let us just, as we inhale, just allow ourselves to be open and receptive, open and receptive. Just exhale and center ourselves in the one power, the one presence for a few moments now. So I just allow that presence to be centered in me, and I'm centered in it, the living Spirit Almighty. So in this awareness, my heart and my consciousness is filled with joy for the gift of life, for the gifts of spirit, for the gifts of friends, for the gift of community, for the gift of everyone sharing in this service this evening. I give thanks. I give thanks. So I just allow Spirit to speak through me this evening, knowing that everyone who participates is blessed in their own way and is a blessing to everyone they meet. So I know that it is good and very, very good. I just release these words now to that law that makes it so. And so it is. And welcome again, everyone. And thanking you for joining me on this experience this evening. So I'm know if everyone experience of being free and laughing. And that's a book by Marguerite Orain, a member of our spiritual community at the Temple of Light. And today I'll be talking a lot about joy. If we know that joy is one of our infinite qualities, it is an aspect of God, and since we are expressions of that one, joy is a part of us. It's an inner experience of us. So oftentimes we feel joy and we can't even say why we feel this joy. We just wake up some morning feeling wonderful after sleeping because joy is just there. So Jesus, the master teacher, told us to store treasures in heaven, not in Matthew 6. Matthew 6 is really a chapter that really tells us how to live, along with the parables. And he told us to store treasures in heaven, not to worry, but to seek the kingdom of heaven and the right use of the law of mind or the law of life, and you will enjoy a prosperous life. You live a life of, no, a life, living a life of joyful sharing and service is a way to experience this. Dennis, Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones, one of our Sons of Mind luminaries, tells us that manifesting a prosperous life isn't just about increasing our net worth. It is about increasing our self-worth. So you could just think about that. Manifesting a prosperous life isn't about increasing our net worth. It is about increasing our self-worth. It is about making it possible to have an abundance of whatever makes a life worth living, including more intangible things, such as an abundance of love, relationships, vibrant health, and time to enjoy them. All basically experiencing the kingdom of heaven, which is within us all. Now, the joy of sharing and serving is often profound, and it's a transformative experience that moves us from self-centeredness to a life of purpose and fulfillment. And it's rooted in the knowing that true happiness is found in giving rather than receiving. And it is a core aspect of spiritual growth and a reflection of divine love. Now, service and spirit is transformative in that it shifts our focus and shifts our attention away from personal worries, anxieties, and desire. And by reducing that focus and increasing, it helps us to increase our happiness. And by in true doing service, we find purpose. It transforms the view of life from a search for personal gain to an opportunity for meaningful contribution. There's something called a helper's eye. I am certain that many of you who are listening to me have experienced that. That is, things such as serving others, volunteering, has been shown to improve our mental and physical well-being, reducing stress and depression. So that is the example that Jesus, the way he showed up, set by not coming to be ministered unto, but by ministering through serving, healing, and blessing those who he came into contact with. Now, true service is done without seeking recognition or attention, but it's done in a humble way. And the master teachers told us that by serving the least of these, serving those who are hungry, those who are not experiencing wholeness in the moment, welcoming strangers, that when we do that, we are serving ourselves and we are serving God, which is the one power, the one presence, right? So service helps us to utilize our gifts, right? And each of us have unique talents. And through service, we get to share those talents. And service don't need to be something grand enough. Service is even in listening in our families, offering encouragement to friends, families, or just anyone we meet. You know, just even having a smiling countenance can help to bring joy and hope to others. And that is why it is transformative in that way. Similarly, just sharing allows us to express that inner joy and share the joy with us, while we also share things, share our gifts, share our good. And the spiritual law works in such a way. I say whatever we share, multiply, as we saw in the feeding of the 5,000. That by sharing what we have, it multiplies to help others. So by sharing our time, treasure, and talent, it allows us to become cheerful givers. And 2 Corinthians 9, verse 7 tells us that each one of us must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. And cheerful giving allows in the right useness of the law of mind. Because whatever we bring to the law, it returns to us, as Reverend John said, shaken down, pressed down, multiply, and flowing over. Yeah. So sharing and giving generously. And on Sunday, it's Practitioner Sunday, practitioner Jennifer Livingston will be sharing more about that, about the benefits of giving generously. Because what you give come back to you. And when we give with joy, when we serve with joy, it allows the law to multiply it and return it to us. But it also benefits others. It benefits the entire community. And therefore, when we give service, we're not only serving us, ourselves, we're not only serving others, but we are serving the living Spirit Almighty and allowing it to express more fully in our lives. And we are indeed fulfilling the law by serving in joy and love, right? So when we do that, we experience more a life worth living. We attract better circumstances, stronger relationships, and we experience flourishing in all aspects of life. And we grow spiritually. And that is my understanding of what the master teacher was really alluding to in Matthew 6. Because he says that when we seek to express this joy, right? When we express that kingdom of heaven within us and use the law of mind righteously, the Father provides all that we require, even before we know that we require it. Right? So living a joyful life is something that, and serving in joy is a wonderful intention to have. No, you know, to give, always, when I speak, I always try to encourage people to do something also that will help you to accomplish what I'm speaking about easier. And in this month's Signs of Mind, there's an article by Mark Wallman. There's always a scientific article in the Signs of Mind. And this month's thing, they encourage us that if we want to experience more joy, more abundance, that one way of practicing gratitude, even beyond just writing down 3 things that we are grateful for in our gratitude journal daily. It's a quality that tends to be more long lasting and probably they say the most effective method that has been used is to write poems. And they say the poem don't have to make sense, but try to avoid using abstract words, right? But focus on the richness of life. Focus on what you want to achieve and write it out in metaphors and action verbs. And just write the poem. You're writing it for yourself, right? But you're changing your neural pathways and you are increasing your consciousness of prosperity, of abundance. So that is one of the things I would encourage you to do, to try to write poems about wonderful experiences in your life, right? Wonderful experience that you are manifesting, that is unfolding through serving joyfully, sharing joyfully, and just living in love and just expressing those inner feelings that we call the kingdom of heaven within us. So I'm going to just turn it over to you now to get some comments, some feedback from those of you on the call, especially what makes you feel free and laughing. How do you express your joy? In service, how do you share it? Generally speaking. So anyone who wants to start can come in now.
I love the idea of a poem, even a nonsense rhyme, a limerick,
Yeah.
to express our gratitude or the highlights of a day or something. So I'm definitely going to take on that assignment. Thank you, Vance.
Okay, Reverend John.
I'll share some on my quiet moment.
Okay. Auntie Lil?
I love to cook. I love a book. I love
Yes.
when friends come over. So grows my joy, my greatest joy. And now my poem is over.
I love it. You didn't write it out.
I don't write it down, it just come into my head.
Okay, because I was going to ask you to share it again. Because that one, I really like that one.
I don't know if I remember it. I love to cook. I love a book. I love when friends come over. And something, something, I share my joy. And now my
Yes.
poem is over.
Actually,
But
you are a trip.
the joy remains. The joy remains.
That's right.
Yeah. And joy is an expression of prosperity, Because if without joy, whatever you have, really, you can't it's not a fulfilling experience if you don't experience the joy, you know. And it's great when we share that joy. Who else can call on some people? Dawn. Dawn, you want to share your experience of joy and sharing joy. She also said that is a lovely poem by Auntie Lil. Yes, Jen.
I will share my experience of joy is around children.
Yes,
When you're with them, it's hard for you to not feel the joy because they have the simplest way of, you know, just expressing how they feel without holding back.
yes,
um, and especially even around babies. Saw a strange baby in the street walking with our parent, and she's just happy and gurgling, and I am just standing there in awe of the joy that is coming out of
yeah,
this child because she looks at someone else. So for me, kids will get me every time in terms of joy. How I serve, I go to school and I mentor
yes,
students, as a way of just increasing joy and serving.
yes,
That's my thing. Children.
yeah. You know, I'm reflecting on when I was in the classroom, and one of my greatest joy is seeing a student blossom
Yes.
and express themselves, going into even greater than they would have imagined. That really brings me a great deal of joy. Seeing students succeed and manifest that gift within them.
Yes. Especially when they were told that they weren't going to amount to anything.
Yeah, I've never told a student that, but I know people
No,
who
not you,
have
but they
done
get
that.
that at home many times.
Yes, 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 yes. And when they get encouragement, you can see the joy in them just swelling up that, yeah, somebody sees me, you know, yeah, you know, you can almost feel it. Well, I feel it. So who else want to share? Sandy, I know you always have things to share.
Kind of was just thinking, there's so much.
Yeah.
For sure, music,
Yes.
music, most genres. In fact, what is ironic is that, I hear a lot of dancehall coming from the community behind me. And I mean, I can't understand a word, and I find most of it vexing to my ear.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I feel my teeth moving in rhythm to the beats.
Yes.
There's a part of me that is just intuitively moving.
Yes.
So there's music, nature, which it includes water. Now that we've been having a lot of rain, and our hills are green. Most times you drive anywhere, you can see our hills, especially in Kingston, because the hills are just looming there, and when I look at the hills and so on, feel listen to the rain and see I'm at the ocean or at a river, or so I just experience God at the dam. It's just so beautiful, peaceful up there. Awesome. Carol has a comment.
Yeah, it is always joy to be with you. Well, come back and get it back.
So it's always a joy to be with you all, to grow with you, to laugh with you, to know we're all brethren and sister too. Y'all don't know how much you mean to me. Indeed, I love you all, my friends. Oh, Carol.
Yes, Carol. I can deter that. Yeah, I can deter that. We talk about music. There's a rhythm within each of us that we resonate to, whether we are conscious of it or not. I remember Reverend John telling the story of this drummer playing a heartbeat. I think that's what he called it. And he couldn't stop dancing. Right, Reverend John?
Yes, it was Lavinia Williams' daughter, T. Yarborough, who was a drummer for the Haitian dance years ago, and they used to come into summer schools for Eddie Thomas Dance Theatre and the NDTC. And Lavinia Williams was an American Black woman who taught Haitian dance, and her daughter T was her drummer, and it was at the university up at what's the name, Philip Sherlock Center. And she said, everybody has a beat, and a good drummer will pick up your beat, and when they do, you can't stop dancing. So I kind of said, foolishness. And she said, I have your beat, and pointed at me, and she started to play. And I got up and couldn't sit down. I was whirling and whirling and whirling, like one of those dervishes.
Yeah.
And it was amazing because it really grabbed me. And then when I almost collapsed in exhaustion, she said, everybody has a beat. That's all she said.
Yeah.
Boy, you have a good memory. I hadn't remembered that for a long time.
Yeah. No, because just reflecting that there are a lot of things within us that we are not even consciously aware of them.
So true.
Yeah.
There's also a tribe, and I have it written down somewhere in one of my journals in Africa, that when a woman becomes pregnant, before the baby is due to be born, the women of the village take her off to a hut that they build themselves out in the bush, and they're with her there, and they listen for the song of the child. And at some point, one of the women begins to chant. What is coming through her is the baby's song, and that song is sung as the baby is being born. And then that song is sung whenever there's a major milestone, a birthday, a circumcision, a pregnancy, whatever they're doing. The rights of manhood and womanhood. That song is sung for that person. And if they do something antisocial in the tribe gathers, puts them in the center, and sings their song. That's the punishment. That's the only retribution. they sing their song until they come back to themselves.
Mhm.
I'm going to look up and find out what tribe it is, because I have it written down somewhere.
Yeah, that's truly amazing.
Yeah, but
It's true.
the indigenous peoples, the First Nation peoples have known a lot, and it's just coming back to life now.
Yes, yeah. That when people make mistakes, if we could just find a way to remind them of who they are.
If we could find their song.
Yeah, find their song, yeah.
Yeah.
We could just find their song.
Yep.
You know, truly amazing. Who else want to comment? Professor Jackson, do you have any comments? Anything to share with us?
The only thing I would say is joy and fulfillment. Those two words
Yes.
those have been on my and in my journal. Joy and fulfillment. They are two words that go so much together, and that's and when Dawn spoke about the children, one of my greatest joy is driving
Jennifer.
and watching the children coming from school and how they hold hands. And then you're talking about teenage, and even though you're not talking about babies necessarily, but the younger one, the kindergarten ones too. But and the way in which they play with each other, and it is really, really the innocence of joy. And there is a certain innocence to joy. It is innocence. It is purity. It is fulfillment and meaning, divine fulfillment. We are one with that greatest joy, which is our God. And that's my contribution.
Yeah. The joy of the Lord is our strength. Yeah, so that
the chant, lovely.
Yeah. And the gifts is one of the gifts of spirit. It's one of the gifts of spirit to us, right? That's why children express joy naturally. Right? That's how they express joy naturally. They don't even need external stimulation a lot of time. If you look at them alone and so on, they're just so joyful. Or you might think they are alone, but they know that joy that they're expressing is part of their connection to those around them, part of connection to their inner self also, which they are expressing. And when we serve and we share, we foster this quality of joy, and we allow it to grow within us. And life itself become more worthwhile. And as Leighton said, fulfilling. And that is basically prosperity. A life that is joyful and fulfilling. Okay, if there are any more comments before we move on to prayer? Okay, let me just check.
Can I just summarize some things that came out of what people shared?
Okay. You have another poem?
A little scribble.
All right.
From Sandy's own. The hills are green, the rain we've seen. What joy now fills our heart. You need not wonder what I mean, for of God's joy you are a part.
Yes.
And from Jennifer's own and Leighton's, the children know. Watch as they grow. To them, joy is so natural. So let us share while we are here. Joy of the vine. was habitual.
Whoa, half a spark of that boy.
That sounds like it has the making of a limerick.
Yeah.
It almost has a rhythm of a limerick.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Any prayer requests? You can place them in the chat. Or you can open your mic.
Perfect health, please, for me.
Health for Reverend John. Okay.
Mhm.
And for me, as I am settling, and the other word that comes to me is luxury. And we tend to
Mhm.
associate it with material things. But there is something about the word that appeals to me, and a life of luxury, which is peace,
Mhm.
prosperity, a home, friends, finances, everything. It is just a luxury that you take it for granted.
Mhm.
And therefore, you then spend my time on the other, the sharing, the sharing, the sharing. And this is the treatment I would ask for, a life of luxury.
Okay. Treatment of abundance, basically. Okay. Abundance, Leighton. Health, Reverend John. Divine order, Reverend Michael. And to lead divine guidance, light and right action for Stefan. Yeah. Okay. Any more?
Affirmative prayer of peace.
Peace for you, Sandy, or just
Jen,
generally?
this is Jen for me.
Or Jen?
For a family that's going through a time of loss right now. This peace.
Okay. So I'm gonna start kind of like how I got them. Let me start with Reverend John first. Health for Reverend John and anyone who is open and receptive to this. So I am knowing there's one power, one presence that is perfect, that is complete, that is whole. It is God. It expresses through all creation. There's a divine blueprint in all expressions of the divine. This blueprint of completion, of wholeness, perfection is within Reverend John and within everyone who resonates with this treatment of divine health. So I'm knowing that radiating from the center of the being is this perfection, is this wholeness, is this completion. And I know that anything unlike this is now dissolving to nothingness. And it now manifests as perfect health in all aspects of being, physical, mental, emotional, and all aspects of life. So I'm knowing for Reverend John and for all who resonate with this prayer, perfect health. I now release this word to the law of mind, knowing that it is so. And so it is. Excuse me a moment. Um,
And so it is.
perfect
Thanks,
health.
Van.
Perfect health for myself also. Okay. Oh, take some more water. Abundance for Leighton and for anyone who are open and receptive. I recognize, sorry, the one source of all good, the living Spirit Almighty. And I know that this one knows itself through each and every one of us. We are expressions of the divine. So the source of good is within each and every one of us. It's within Leighton, it's within everyone who resonate with this knowing. And I know as this awareness fills our heart and our consciousness, we experience a life that is luxurious, that is fulfilling, that is rewarding. All that we require is provided when we need it and how we need it. And I know that for Leighton, his life now flows easily, effortlessly, luxuriously in this good, in this joy. As Spirit provide the desires of his heart and something even better than he could have imagined. It is wonderful. It is glorious. So in this knowing, we just allow the abundance of Spirit to flow in the lives and the affairs of Leighton and all who are open and receptive to receiving these gifts. I know this. I just let it be so now. And so it is. That's also for Reverend Sonia, for
Yes, sir.
Jamaica, the temple.
So it is.
I
So
all
it
who
is.
resonate with it. So I'm gonna do now divine guidance and right action for Stefan and for Reverend Michael. So we know there's one power, one presence. the living Spirit Almighty. And we know that the manifest universe is the body of God. It's a logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of this one. This infinite self-knowingness expressing through each and every one of us. It is our light. It is our guide. And in this knowing, I know that divine guidance and right action is established in the life of Stephen, Reverend Michael, and everyone who allow the divine guidance of spirit to be the way of their lives and the life of their. So I'm seeing divine guidance and right action for Stephen, Reverend Michael, and all who are open and receptive. Expressing as this knowing what to do, when to do, and how to do it. And success is their experience in all aspects of life. And life flows easily and effortlessly. So I give thanks for light and divine guidance. And I just release these words now to that law of mine, which makes it so, and so it is.
So it is. So it is.
And peace for the person that Jennifer asks for peace. God is peace. And knowing that we are expressions of this one, I know peace within each and every one of us. There's no place where God is not. There's no place where peace is not. So I'm knowing for this person that Jennifer requested this treatment. That this consciousness of peace is now revealing their awareness. And within this consciousness, the knowing that all is well permeates this consciousness. So I know in that this knowing that all is well just allows them to feel the support, to feel the love, to feel that connection with everyone around them. Knowing that whatever unlike love, unlike peace that they have experienced came to pass. And now there's peace. Peace in their hearts, peace in their consciousness, peace in their lives. So I just release these words and let Spirit do what it does. And it is good and very good. And so it is.
And so it
And
is.
so it is.
There be no more prayer requests. I'll just go into the sharing of some announcements. Okay. Just trying to get this screen to move. Okay, so just welcome to everyone who joined us today. And thank you for joining us in this our healing service. Tomorrow, the Financial Confidence 4-week webinar series kicks off at 7 to 8 p.m. You can get the link from Temple of Light. And you're asked to bring a friend. So together you can learn about money skills with Denise Williams, who, she runs a series. I think it's on TV. Somewhere in the media, though. She runs a series
PBJ.
on TVJ.
PBJ, public.
PBJ.
Yeah.
Okay. Teaching about financial skills. So you get her for an hour, for 4 weeks, sharing with you, 7 to 8 p.m., and you can get the link from Temple. Now, piano and guitar classes are held at the Temple at 12:30 p.m. on Sundays. So if you feel so moved to learn the guitar and piano, you can join us at the Temple at 12:30 p.m. on Sundays. Now, the Centers for Spiritual Living Convention runs from Tuesday to Friday, April 7 to 10 at the Peppermint Resort, Spa and Casino in Reno, Nevada. So contact the office if you are interested in attending. And Reverend John and Reverend Michelle will be receiving their honorary doctorates at this convention. Tai Chi is on Friday mornings, 9 to 10 a.m. on the Temple. The cost is $2,000 per person, and it's in the annex. Ice with Stuart Maxwell, who is a master at Tai Chi. Now, our Prosperity Palooza continues this Sunday. Living Generously. That's our service this Sunday, 9 a.m. in our sanctuary. And it's good to see our sanctuary being filled. So please continue the trend and let us see everyone this Sunday. I will be practitioner Jennifer will be our speaker, and practitioner Steve will be the host and the platform manager this Sunday. So come and step into the flow of abundance by joining us. And
Dress code blue.
Yeah, dress code, you remember, blue. Not to feel blue, but to wear the dress code blue. Okay. Now reminder, our membership fees for 2026 are now due. And we are thanking you for your contribution. And remember, you can go to donate.templeoflight.csl.org. All right.
Petitioner Vance.
Huh?
Before you move on, just remind them there is a Chinese gift exchange this Sunday as well. So remind persons to bring down a gift. And we're exchanging a gift. Yes. Please, that's important.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. You can just repeat that again, practitioner Jennifer.
On this Sunday, there's a mailing that went out, and I saw it in the notice board as well. Chinese gift exchange. Bring a gift, exchange a gift with someone. So something that's new or not so used, or if you're regifting, wrap the present, bring it home. And we'll be doing that after service. All right. So look out for that announcement and remember to bring a gift with you this Sunday. So you can participate in the fun. Bring more than one, just in case somebody forgets to bring.
Sorry, I don't think it's exchanging it with someone. You bring it and you put it down, and then after service you pick up one, anyone. It's not actually exchanging with someone.
You'll be getting a number. So there is a way of doing it. You'll be getting a number when you bring your gift, and then
Oh,
that's
okay.
how you'll choose your gift. So if you're on the temple notice board, the instructions are there. I saw it.
Yeah, no,
posted.
you said exchanging a gift with someone, but
Um,
it's not actually on a personal basis of
Oh, not
exchange.
on a
No.
no.
So that's it. That was the distinction I was making.
Okay. Thanks, Rev.
Okay. So as I said, if you wish to give a tithe and offering, you can go to donate.templeoflightcsl.org. And prayer support is available with Reverend Michelle at prayer.templeoflightcsl.org. So that there's a blessing that we do before we give our gifts. Hold on a second. So I think we all know it. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch. I replenish all of my financial affairs. So be it. Thank you, Father, and so it is. So now we're going to join in the prayer of our center. And you can join me. You can open your mics and feel free to join me. Prayer of our center. Temple of Light.
Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living, is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community, from which the Christ peace,
love,
and joy emanate.
To touch,
to heal, to bless,
to prosper, and to liberate anyone
who comes
into contact with it
in any way.
The
The
light
light
of
Christ illumines us, our center,
and our
environment. Our spiritual community is filled with
and surrounded by the presence of God, and is growing
from strength
to strength. The power of God expands consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths
of wisdom,
spiritual growth,
unfoldment, and attainment.
We are blessed.
And to God
be the honor
and glory forever.
And so it is.
So it is. Amen.
And now the prayer for Jamaica. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us
and from
us
to everything and everyone it touches.
The eternal light of God's love now completely
fills, covers and surrounds our island Jamaica.
The glowing
intensity of the light of
God's love now
interpenetrates and awakens
within
the hearts, minds of our countrymen and women. The truths of life.
Which set free.
The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established. And so it is.
And so it is. Oh, I have the love offering blessing in the wrong place. Okay, so just join me in our closing affirmative prayer. So our hearts are filled with joy as we just recognize the living Spirit Almighty. And I know that for everyone who participated this evening. Everyone who participates is truly blessed and is a light wherever they go. The light of joy spreading from within, filling the atmosphere of wherever we are. So as we leave the service, we leave as one, going to our separate activities with joy, with love. It is good. It is very good. And I just release these words now, knowing that it is so, and so it is.
Thank you very much, Vance. Lovely.
Yeah, and thanks everyone.